Hello, and welcome to the webinar, Building a Business with Marketing Automation. Thank you so much for being with us, and I know you will learn some great insights. I'm Candace Chapman, VP of Marketing for ContentOro, and with me is Matthew Perkins, who's the Marketing Director, and Laura Lynch, who's the Content Strategist for Build Create Studios, headquartered right here in Ann Arbor with us. Not headquartered in the same building, but you get it. Build Create Studios is a web design and development as well as a digital marketing agency, and they specialize in creating functionally beautiful websites and marketing them with a holistic approach, so I can't wait to learn more. I've asked Matthew and Laura to come and share some expert advice on how to grow your business by using marketing automation software. They've been helping us do that here at ContentOro, and it's been a great experience, so I'll probably chime in with how we are using it from time to time. We've been able to do so much more with less with marketing automation, and I think it's a real key to communicating with customers on a one-to-one level at just the right time. So by the time we're finished today, you'll have several new ways to improve your lead generation efforts with marketing automation. Of course, using great content as the fuel in your strategy. So if you are watching online, you can submit questions through the chat in the dashboard on the right of your screen, or we'll be watching Twitter, so you can submit questions to ContentOro too, at ContentOro. So let's get started. Matthew, Laura, why don't you introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit about Build Create while I turn the presentation over to you.
Sure. So hi, as Candace said, my name is Laura Lynch. I'm the content strategist at Build Create, and I work to help develop content, including blog posts and website copy. Matthew?
And I'm Matthew. I'm the Director of Marketing. So I look at everything, whether it's the SEO aspect, whether it's the the content, overseeing the content strategy, how it's going to play into, things like their social media, whatever the case may be. I kind of oversee everything from the client side.
And we're here to talk to you today about how to create a content marketing strategy for your business so that you can grow your leads and succeed as a business. And we're going to start by talking about personas, what those are and how they can improve your content marketing, how to create content for your business, and then finally how to distribute it and how to track its success. So starting off, what are personas? Well, we talk about personas as an archetype. Personas aren't individual people, but we do talk to people to build them. We try to talk to really as many people as are willing to give us time in an interview. We usually formulate a series of questions to pose to those people, and we're just trying to get to know who they are, why they make the purchases and decisions that they make, and how we can better target their needs to serve them and to attract them to the business that we have.
Mm-hmm. And in this example, we kind of cherry-picked out, well, ContentOro. This was the persona that we developed to really, target people like Candace and, like these folks here. This is the persona that we write to.
That looks pretty much like me.
It's pretty close,
marketer,
right? Yeah. And because that is a target that we definitely have, is other marketing departments that are looking for outsourcing because they, maybe SEO isn't their strong suit, or it's, easier than hiring a whole bunch of new staff. So people that work in marketing, or they don't design websites, but this whole persona is a big one for us. And so it must have worked.
So what you see here on the screen is a screenshot of our content marketing software that we use, of our marketing automated software, and it has several segments that we've filled out to help understand our ideal persona. You'll notice in the product needs, we've looked at price sensitivity, how much someone needs service or support. We also have a few demographics that we like to understand about the person, and the idea is just to get to know how we would reach out to these people and how we could best connect them with our product. Once we do that, we start thinking about the buyer's journey and where they are within the stages of the buyer's journey and how we can reach them at those different stages. We know that back in the day when marketing was more push focused, marketers were trying to get in front of people so that people could see the product and hopefully think about it when they came in to connect to it in a store. And sales had a much bigger role in the sales funnel and really had more contacts with the customer as they went down the sales funnel. Now, because of online marketing,
Demand pull.
yes, because of the internet and because people are spending more time researching products before they make purchases, marketing has a lot more contact points with people as they go through different stages of the buyer's journey. And when we're talking about the buyer's journey and the marketing funnel, we're really talking about people as they move from being totally ignorant of a specific product or of a brand, but aware of a pain or something that they need solved, and going all the way through that funnel towards becoming aware of the product, learning more about it, recognizing how it's a good solution for the problem they have, finally making a decision, making a purchase, and then coming back as returning customers to be delighted by that product.
And also, brand evangelists, right? We
Yes.
want them to help us make other people aware of what we do or your product, whatever the case may be.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah, we use a funnel very similar, you'll see later, but I love the then and now, showing how much marketing has to do with the new funnel.
Yeah.
Right. So we like to think about this funnel and combine it with personas when we create what we call a content matrix.
Mm-hmm.
And when we create the content matrix, we often start with things like customer questions, FAQs, to try to see what people are asking, what is really interesting them in a product, what might convert them and close them and delight them.
Mm-hmm.
And then we put that together into a matrix that we really thinking about every persona. We usually have multiple content matrices. So if we identify 3 different personas that we work with in our business, we'll look at how the content, how to target them with content along every stage of the buyer's journey matched to that persona.
Yep, absolutely. And when we sat down, as a team, this is of course focused on our clients, and we sat down as a team, and we'd sit down with all of our clients, and if they don't have the answer, we that's where the interviews come in.
Yeah,
we want to find out what were they searching for, because they're not the only ones, right? You're not the only person searching for that pain point. Everybody. So this is good also for SEO, is to focus on what questions are people trying to search for.
Exactly. And once we do that, as I said, we're creating content around each of these stages. And this is an example for our blog, talking about how e-commerce can compete with Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
E-commerce businesses are another persona that we target. And we know that one of the biggest pain points for e-commerce is the fear that they can't compete with Amazon, that Amazon is just going to
crush their business.
Exactly.
Like Walmart did to, Main Street businesses.
Exactly. And we know that these people they're on the internet, they're Googling for strategies, advice, anything really that can help give them a perspective for how to address this fairly significant concern of theirs.
Mm-hmm.
So if we begin by writing a blog post about how small e-commerce can take on Amazon, we're going to attract those kinds of businesses as they come to us to learn more about how to create specific marketing strategies for their businesses.
And we also use a lot of keyword research tools to help with those titles. And I think one of the benefits of what ContentOro has is that they have so much content that they can really use a keyword research tool without having to do a whole lot of manipulation of the actual key phrase. They have so much content at their disposal that you guys are able to go, okay, what of this content does the best in search, and then you're able to pull that from the work that you've got. And
That's right.
I think that it's got for especially because content marketing is very intensive. You have to do a lot of it. It's very hard for most small businesses to be able to have all of these tools at their disposal, all of these things, and you can combine these things and not have to you guys bring a value add with that because of just the sheer quantity.
Right, because you can't live on keywords alone. Keywords have such high, like one keyword has such high.
But it's the phrasing, right?
Yeah, it's the phrasing and it's the depth of the content and the long tail, if you are familiar with that term, that really brings value to content like ours. Thanks.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly. So this is an example of some of the blog topics that we've created around our personas and around this research that we've done. Looking at beyond just customer queries and more towards the keyword research that we've done to try to see what other things people are Googling and what they're interested in. And then, again, planning our blog calendars and planning our content around how each of those pieces of content can help people be drawn in to work with the company.
Yeah.
So we have different types of content as well. We've been talking about blogs so far, but really blogs are they're mostly in the attract stage. We use them we use them to draw people in as they're Googling. We link between blogs. We send blogs out to people in emails. Whenever we get them on a list, we like to send them to them and say, hey, we saw that you were interested in this piece of content. Here are some other related blogs. Or if we have a regular newsletter that we're hoping to nurture leads through, having a blog that we can send them every week is a great way to keep your content flowing towards them so that they can engage with it and really feel confident with it.
Yeah, but it's definitely a great lead nurturing, moving those people down that funnel we were talking about. That's why, content marketing has moved so far into the sales funnel, because salespeople use it.
Yes.
When we help companies with their sales force, we'll often teach them, listen, here's this library of emails with links to pain points of your salespeople, your potential leads, right?
Exactly.
And you can send these out and have at it. Here's the library, and send them to your clients and teach them, instead of just going, hey, I'm just following up to see how that sale's going. This is a good way to help salespeople.
And it's really important as well that, as you can see from what Matthew was just saying, to have your marketing and sales teams working really hand in hand. And that's another thing that we've seen content marketing really transforming in the industry from our perspective, is that in the past, you often had some competition between marketing and sales and a bit of a blame game going on.
Absolutely.
And with content marketing, we really can work a lot more closely with our sales team, going to the sales team and saying, hey, what are people asking you within a sales, and how can we create the content that can better support you as you're trying to convert and close that sale?
Absolutely.
And vice versa. One of the ways we can do that is to create downloadable content. And that's one of our primary pieces of content that we use to convert sales. Once we get people on the blog for a certain period of time, hopefully interesting them in actually downloading something from us. As you can see here, our 5 marketing tips to growing your sales is really what we were just talking about right now. The conversation. I know, right? Between sales, growing that sales and marketing team together, and having this, it's giving a name and an email, and then being able to send someone that downloadable content. And then because we have that email address, and we can see that they've got an email, opened the email, downloaded the content, knowing that there's some interest there, and being able to follow up with them, again, with those highly targeted blog posts, and being able to give the sales team a lot of information there, so that we've not only given the sales team a lead, we've also spent some time warming up that lead just through this automated process.
Yeah.
So just to back up for the beginners, this 5 tips form goes right into SharpSpring, your CRM,
right?
Right, your marketing automation software, and then what does that do? Like, what does that trigger?
That triggers that triggers a workflow, is what is called a workflow. It's a series of events, whether it's notifying me, because if it's this marketing guide, they're usually going to be interfacing with me primarily. And so I may reach out, but it's also going to put them into a trickle email campaign. It's going to, take in a couple of days it's going to send another email about the software itself, or maybe in a few more days it'll send something about tips to boost your sales leads. Just it's going to be very targeted content. It's going to be focused on what they're interested in. It may not be so much about web design, or it may not be as much about any development side. We have those workflows because we have multiples of these
based
forms,
on the personas.
based on the
Exactly.
personas and based on the interests.
So you're communicating very specifically with what they care about.
Exactly. And we don't, because blanketly shooting out something to 80 million people is not going to have the same net result as sending targeted content based on someone's what their interest is.
So for instance, this marketing guide is something that we created to work with a ContentOro type persona,
Mm-hmm.
someone who's looking for someone to supplement their marketing force, or they don't have enough of a marketing team and they need more people to be involved. If we had someone who was interested in a website, we have a different piece of content for those people.
Yeah.
And when they download that other content, we send them emails and blogs based on that downloadable rather than on this downloadable.
And you don't have to do it every time because it's automated.
It's automated.
Exactly.
It
The
saves your,
idea.
yeah, it saves your
Exactly.
marketing department a heck of a lot of time over time.
Right.
Yeah, you don't have to sit down and manually track who did what. It's just
Exactly.
all part of a process.
Absolutely. And we do it even based on visiting a page. If there's a contact that comes back and they visit a specific page, 5 minutes later they're just getting a surprise email about and it really has to do with development because we don't have a form for development at this point yet. But if a contact visits the development page, they're going to get something about development in their inbox in a few minutes, which will look so serendipitous.
Great.
Exactly. So once we've talked so far about how to create content to draw people in, how that content can attract people through keywords and through Google search, how people have come to the content, maybe will keep reading the content on the blog, or how we can send that content to them in emails to help nurture leads. But we haven't talked yet about distributing your content and getting it out in front of people who haven't sat down and really searched for it yet.
Mm-hmm.
And our main ways of doing that are through social media, email marketing, and then content promotion websites. So social media is a basic one. One of the great things about creating all of this content is that it automatically gives you material that you need to keep your social media channels valuable and keeping them distributing really good content and give people a reason to be following those social media channels or to be checking them. So obviously Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn are three of the biggest social media channels out there that most businesses want to use. Obviously there are more, and which ones you use depend on the kind of business that you run. We notice that B2B businesses have a lot of success on LinkedIn, whereas e-commerce businesses might have more success on Instagram.
Mm-hmm. Depending on the product, yeah.
Exactly. If you have one that looks nice, that you can take beautiful pictures of, having an Instagram page is a great way to kind of attract people to your product. And then writing blog posts about them and distributing them across those social media channels is a great way to have people see your content and then come to you for more.
Yeah, and content promotion websites are something that we use quite a bit. Things like inbound.org, especially if you're a marketing agency like us and you want to get found by other marketers submitting questions. Writing blog posts on inbound.org is something that we do, and it's actually through HubSpot, which technically is a competitor of our software, but it's a resource for marketers to find information. And then for other companies that aren't so focused on the marketing side, we'll use something like Medium, which is it's a content distribution channel. You can freely submit content to them, and it gives you a dual benefit. Number one, people search those websites for learning something, but then you also get backlinks. These aren't like super high quality backlinks that are going to change you forever, but your website's presence forever. But they don't hurt, and they're important to helping you promote your website, and also to help Google understand that you're an authority, because that's what that is what the search engine optimization side of things is Google wants to see that you are spread out, that you have a lot of links to your site, because that generally means that you've got authority. So you get a dual benefit from content marketing in some of these distribution channels.
Are those two free?
Yeah.
Yeah. Great.
Yep, they're free.
And then, of course, after you've done all of the distribution, you want to track what you're doing and making sure that you can understand what's working. And so we have, we talk about looking at statistics, understanding what metrics are important for your website, what goals are you trying to reach. So we look at things like Moz is a great way to track keywords, to see how your keywords are performing, what keywords you're ranking for, whether or not you're going up or down that listing. Google Analytics, of course, tracks web volume, search volume, not search volume, but it tracks people who are coming to your website and visiting your pages, and what pages are getting the most views and the most visits from people.
And how can you, where are they going, what are they landing on, and the time on page, and how can you improve these things? And yeah, there's tons to Google Analytics. We could have a whole other webinar and conversation on what Google Analytics and Moz for that fact.
Exactly. But it's great for understanding, again, what content is working at each stage. So if you think back to our content marketing matrix, and the personas that we've developed, as you're developing these personas, as you're interviewing people, as you're looking at demographics, you might not have perfect personas. You might have made some very educated guesses, but there's probably some distortion in your persona about who your actual client is.
Mm-hmm.
And you might find, after doing all of this content and creating this content, that your actual persona is slightly different than when you thought it was going to be. You might have written a blog post at one point thinking that it wouldn't do so well, but it was good to have on the site anyways. But now that's one of your more popular blog posts.
Mm-hmm.
Conversely, you might write a post thinking it's going to be very popular, and it just falls flat. It's not what people were looking for. Or you might find that the post that you're writing, the content you're creating, isn't actually attracting the right kind of customer. So having these statistics and being able to track what you're doing helps you to better target your content so that you can adjust as you go.
And we have a great story about that. We have a blog post that is supremely well ranked worldwide on core deliverables for simple websites. This blog post is probably 10% of our web traffic.
Wow.
It was written about 5 or 6 years ago by Eric. We updated it last year when we found out that it was so well trafficked that we needed to, we wanted to update it for 2016.
Right.
Last year. So we've got this this blog post that's just driving a ton of traffic. It took 5 years for a lead to come off of that, and that was last week.
Wow. Because
of where the website, where that blog post sits in the buyer's journey. When are you concerned about what are the deliverables for a website? It's not when you're researching your website. It's when you're going, why is this website taking our developer 11 months to produce? What should they, because it's website deliverables. If you type in website deliverables, pretty much anywhere in the world, it's number 1 and number 2. Number 1 is the original, number 2 is the second one. Well, so if you're looking for website deliverables, you're not usually looking at that during the buying phase of the process. It's a little bit further down. So yeah, it took us 5 years to get a lead off of something that creates 10% of our traffic.
And that was truly because we were getting people just too late.
Right.
We needed to get them earlier,
right.
Get them interested earlier, and then use that post as as a close or as a delight to show that, hey, we're actually delivering the thing that we said we were going to deliver.
Absolutely. So, and you learn that through all of these tools. You start to understand that, yes, you grab a whole lot of traffic with something, but it's not doing what it's supposed to do. And every piece of content, for the most, should have a goal in mind. Is it going to, and that has to correlate with the buyer's funnel, the buyer's buying cycle, and the journey. And if it's not, then it's time to revamp how you are writing your content and what you should be expecting.
Exactly. Because I can tell just from my own experience writing content that sometimes you get a great idea that you get excited about, and you start working on a piece of content, and about halfway through you realize that this content isn't actually relevant to, you know, your site or the stuff that you're doing, and having that way of like checking that, you know, really from the start, and really vetting your content creation process, and knowing that you're only going to be spending time on stuff that's gonna have relevancy and gonna deliver results, and then having things that can help you know that you're actually making good decisions, and it's not actual guesswork. You have the data, you have the proof. It's just amazing for focusing your content marketing efforts.
So
very cool.
Well,
So thanks.
Well,
Thank you very much.
that's a lot of great information. I am going to go ahead and get control. I'm going to get control back. And open it up for questions. We've got a few questions in the chat, so I'm going to go ahead and do that first. So the one that I thought was most interesting is, what are the most important elements to have to look for in a marketing software? Because we were using HubSpot, the competitor you mentioned, which has a lot of great things, but you have to pay a lot of money for the two things that I thought were really important, which was the lead scoring and the automation pieces. So what, in your opinion, are the most important elements to look for? Because there's a lot, you know, a lot out there.
So I have gone through HubSpot training. I worked with HubSpot for a while. I'm familiar with, you know, Marketo and Pardot, and the reason that what you said right there is probably the reason that we decided to go with SharpSpring. When I said, hey guys, here's this software for marketing automation, do you want to try it? It was the fact that it was wide open. You just got all the features out of the box. You didn't pay for anything extra, and all of the other ones, it was like, either if you got everything out of the box, like Marketo is, you know, great out of the box. It's got all the features that you'll ever want, but it's like 4 times the price.
Yeah.
You know, it's close to, you know, $1,500 to $2,000 depending upon how many contacts you have. Whereas SharpSpring is like, yeah, we don't care. You know, it's just we're here to, you know, help agencies. We're here to help clients. We wanted to build something that was a little bit of a mold breaker. So that's. I had a few years of experience with SharpSpring prior to coming to Build Create in a former agency, and it was great. It really helped. It's helped now 2 agencies grow, and I know from speaking at WordCamps and WordPress things, it's helped. It's now helping a lot of other agencies that I've spoken to around, you know, all over the country, that have gone, oh, we want to adopt that as well, because here's an inexpensive way for our clients to have access to the same tools that some of the bigger players in their market have.
So what are the top tools that you use every day? Every day.
Well, what am I logging into every day? Moz.
Yep.
SEMrush, which it's very similar to Moz in that, but it's more about, when I'm looking, that's a keyword. It's very much, it's an SEO tracker. It's tracking keywords, but it's literally tracking every keyword, whereas Moz is more focused on what do you want. SEMrush tells me everything. And so I can use Moz to help manipulate where I want, and then I can find out some of the places that I may be missing from SEMrush. The other one that obviously Google Analytics, Google AdWords, Webmaster Tools. I love it. I think it's very undervalued. Especially when you start looking at search volume. And then obviously the social media sites, either just to, you know, screw off or to actually get work done, because we also help people manage their you know, social media accounts and posting blogs to their social media.
Cool. So can you tell us, there was a question about the best way to tell what's working in your email. How can you use marketing automation to help people, to help understand what's working in your email and how to make it better?
Sure. Well, it depends on what your goal is through your email. Is your goal email campaign, is your goal to get click-throughs back to your website to do a certain thing, whether it's filling out a form field, hitting a landing page,
let's say that's it.
That's it. That's our defining our goal. So if our goal is to have someone click on a link, fill out a form, take an action, it's a pretty simple metric. You send out the emails to these people. Is your call to action doing the thing that you wanted?
And you can do A/B
testing.
on that.
You can A/B test. You can split your lists. If you've got a list of people, you can split your list and send 2 different emails to the different people. You can, Candace, you're really good at this, is sending persona-driven content, where you change your headers and your calls to action based on a persona, your content based on a persona, and so that's define your goal, and then if that's your metric, then that's what you want.
And the automation can help you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Determine that. That's what I really like, is that you can see everything, even what, like, it's like cherry picking the best of Google Analytics. You can see that in your automation software, so that it's like a dashboard of the things that you should be caring about. And we just did our first A/B test on subject lines, which was really helpful. We learned what to put first, and so that was very. And
the reporting on there for email reporting in SharpSpring is really good, because you get to really see, it gives you a really, when I say it's good, in that it's simple and it's graphically pleasing to see, okay, how many opens did we get? How many clicks did we get? How many, where did they click? What did they do? And you can get it on the email level, or you can get them on the individual, like, who are these people that are actually interacting with them? And then, again, when we talk about automation, if someone takes an action, we get to just have another opposite equal reaction, and putting them into a new list, creating a new workflow based on, we only want to talk to the people who actually interact with us, because they're the hand raisers. The rest of them, maybe just ignoring.
Yeah.
So you have an opportunity to go, we'll start here, and then based on what their behavior is, we can actually start leading them down a path.
Cool. Well, I really think you guys, I think marketing automation software is awesome, no matter what you choose, which platform you choose. But it is a very powerful tool. But I have really been, while I'm someone that can figure things out, I have really been happy to have you guys helping us out to get this set up, and I feel like we've been able to do a lot more with less with your help. So thanks very much. I really appreciate it. I just wanted to connect what you were saying, to share a little bit about ContentOro for those of you who may not know about us, and then I'll finish with how we're using marketing automation here. So we're sharing this strategy with our customers, the way that we're using marketing automation, and we're working on a way to present it to everyone as a tool on our website. So I'm looking forward to having that available on the website soon. So I'll just give you a peek into our content marketing funnel. But just to give you a brief overview, ContentOro provides content for marketing in a way that's never been done before. Instead of creating content one blog or post at a time, which is great, but it's very time consuming, we work with the world's best publishers who already have content on any topic that you can think of. It's been written by experts, and it's ready, but it's never been available online. And we use our unique software to convert it to digital content and to deliver it to websites. So this is exclusive content. Our customers get full SEO credit. We've solved the huge problem of not having enough content or time or money to create content by bringing hundreds or even thousands of pages of information that your customer is interested in to your site. So then you can use it to connect with your customers online, in social media, and of course with marketing automation. And you can see examples of what we do on ContentOro.com. So But this is just one example of a book, the cast iron cookware, that we turned it into digital content. It doesn't look like a book anymore. It looks like a beautiful recipe page. And we do that for all of our customers. You can see in links on the ContentOro homepage some of our customers that have been using our stuff. So, and you may think this looks familiar to something that you showed in the beginning, but this is our content marketing funnel. This is what we're working on. As Bob, the CEO and founder, says, once you figure out the math, it's just a matter of math, getting enough people in the top of your funnel, speaking to enough people to nurture them down as you segment them with the personas, and as you educate them with information that they care about, and as you engage the people, like you said, the people that click, the people that are engaged, you know, send them something extra. We send them an extra download if they open our email, and you know, we're bringing them further into discussion with us. They may not be ready to buy something at that point, but if you're continually nurturing them with great content, when the time comes, and it will come, that they need content, you know, hopefully will be top of mind. So I'm looking forward to having that available to everyone. But if you're interested in to see how this strategy can work for you today, please reach out to me, Candace at ContentOro.com, and stay tuned to our website for more info as we get that posted. So there's a few of our customers, very exciting folks, and like I said, you can find links to them on our homepage. And I just want to thank you so much, Matthew and Laura, for being here.
Thank you.
And thank you, audience, for joining us today. We'll send you a follow-up email with a link to the video for you to share. Sharing is caring. And please follow us on LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook at ContentOro so you don't miss any updates. And sign up for our newsletter at ContentOro.com. And while you're there, check out some of our other content marketing and SEO resources, which is, by the way, content.
Exactly.
So have a great day, and thank you very much.